Yeah, hi. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. The fuck? So even though yes, it's after WrestleMania season, basically I wanted to do a little video about this topic, because basically this year it's again like it's transition. It's basically like the same amount of dates as 2003, and 2003 WrestleMania 19 happened. Even though this is like a leap year, uh, yeah, it's not like actually the consistent date since after February, but it's still still pretty consistent. I'm watching on the network. Well, basically, like I'm watching the WWE Network. I'm watching the year 2003 this year. It's pretty cool rewatching that year. And a lot of people like to say that WrestleMania, WrestleMania 19 is a great WrestleMania. I will do a review on it. And even though like I should have done it before WrestleMania happened and the week before because again it was WrestleMania week, but now it's no longer WrestleMania week. But like, people like to say that Booker T was buried at WrestleMania 19, Triple H buried him. Where the fuck? Even though, yeah, I get it. A lot of people like to say, oh, he should have put over Triple H should have put over Booker T. I see where people are coming from with this argument. And sure, it would have been a good moment for Booker T. Booker T is one of the greatest, by all means, probably the greatest African American wrestlers ever, who sadly never won the actual WWE title. You know what I mean? He should have been the one that honestly won the WWE title before Kofi or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Booker T. By all means, the best African American wrestler ever. Ow! What the fuck? I guess fucking the world doesn't. Is gonna disagree with me when I say this. Basically, I'm up to the debate that Booker T was not actually really buried at WrestleMania 19, and that the fact that he wasn't really ready to win the title at WrestleMania 19. And I'll say why. The reason was that once before WrestleMania 19, Booker T was being booked with he was really in a comedy tag team with fucking Goldust. You know what I mean? He was, even though that shit was funny, it's entertaining shit, more entertaining than what's going on in wrestling today. That's entertaining stuff. But it wouldn't make any much sense if Booker T was to become the world champion literally after that shit, It would make sense if, let's say, it was actually being built up as a main eventer. If anything, he was more of a mid-card at the time. And after all, his match with Triple H at WrestleMania 19 was basically put in the mid-card. You know what I mean? Even though I still think that was a good match, it was cool seeing that match happen. It's kind of a good thing that Triple H won that match because, I get that he was being built up. Oh, he was oppressed as a black person, blah blah blah. But it's on again Booker T wasn't really as a main eventer. Even though yes, he was a main eventer in WCW, he became a main eventer, blah blah blah. He came in alliance as the fucking WCW champion. Five time, blah, 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 But reality is, if he was to win the title, what can you really do with Booker T? If he really was to be the one defeating, if fucking Booker T defeated Triple H at WrestleMania, what would you really do with fucking Booker T? Honestly, that same shit where people complain about Kofi, it would be the same shit that happened with Booker T. If he won at WrestleMania, the title would kind of been developed. And plus, it's actually an important thing that Triple H was still champion. Because after all, it was a new established title. You needed a well-established guy as a world champion, a main eventer to be the champion. Triple H was the guy who was a full-timer at the time. He's a guy that helped build that title. Again, it was a new fucking world title for WWE. They had, Brock Lesnar was the fucking champion for SmackDown. They needed to establish a Raw title. And having Triple H being the champion, even though, Shawn Michaels beat him one time, then he won it again, it was establishing him as a main eventer, and plus he was actually elevating the title. You know what I mean? People say, oh, Scott Steiner should have beat him, blah, 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 all this stuff. But the thing is, having Triple H being still the champion, if you, let's say, took away that, it would, not gave us a cool moments of 2003, for God's sake, Triple H. his feud with Kevin Nash after WrestleMania. You know, even though it was stupid having a tag team, a six-man tag at Backlash, right? They had a tag match, six-man tag at Backlash instead of world title match. Like, it would probably be the same shit. Like, imagine fucking having Triple H and Booker T having a raw, like, fucking a tag match, like, right after WrestleMania. It wouldn't make any sense. But again, like, at least after that, we had a feud with Triple H and Kevin Nash, which was just enjoyable. And then fucking still with Triple H and Shawn Michaels still having their rivalry going on. And then it would not led to fucking Goldberg being the one defeating Triple H. And Goldberg wouldn't have gotten his fucking moment. You know what I mean? And then eventually Triple H winning back the title, and then he'll fucking put over your Benoit. In reality, people like to fucking say Triple H is a bad person. Like, oh, he buries people. Just like the, you know, but again, just like the fucking Smart Busters, you know, I know I have to fucking... They're my buddies, but the thing is, they bring up a good point. I know I'm cool with writing and shit, but again, they bring up a good point in their fucking video that Triple H doesn't bury people. Again, he does put over people. He has put a lot of people over at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? He put over your fucking Benoit. He put over Cena. He put over Batista. You know? He put over a lot of fucking people. He put over even Randy Orton and fucking, he didn't, like, fucking, he has the most losses at WrestleMania after all, people. Just because he defeated Booker T does not mean that he buried people. Like, what, just because the guy is a black person and, you know, he's like, oh, white privilege. Like, what, is that like your like, SJW mentality? Again, like, it wouldn't make any sense, honestly, because, again, Booker T was more a mid-carder, and after all, he was teamed up with Goldust, which was like, sure, yeah, Booker T, he won the Battle Royal, eliminating The Rock before WrestleMania, but, like, again, he was still more of, like, a mid-carder. And after all, after that, he won the IC title. Reality is, the perfect time for him becoming a world champion was indeed 2006. I mean, honestly, everything that happened... WWE before the PG era really started, or really like after the Smarks basically took over wrestling. Honestly, everything happens for a reason. I'm a believer that everything happens for a reason. Honestly, I think now like, we are in some ultimate dimension that everything sucks, and for some reason there's someone to blame. But I do believe up until the Smarks taking over wrestling, everything happened for a reason. Honestly, with wrestling, that was a good time for fucking Booker T to become the world champion when he won the King of the Ring, became King Booker. That was good because King Booker was a good gimmick, and that was actually good reinvention for Booker T to become the world champion, and it helped SmackDown. He became one of the main champions, and it was good for him. So honestly, so that's why I'm up to debate saying that Triple H should not bury Booker T at WrestleMania. It was a good thing that Booker T did not win at WrestleMania. That's just a little bit of my thoughts and just a little bit of something to talk about. Just for its own video, to make people allude that people like to complain about, oh, Booker T should have won the title, Booker T was buried, fuck Triple H, you know, like, get over that, people, come on. Like, because honestly, it's a good thing, again, like, after, he still won the world title after that. But if anything, it was way better, though. Way better thing, because, like, you know, he was actually, he became an actual main eventer when he became King Booker. You know what I mean? So that was a perfect time when he won the title. Around that time, he was still mid-carder, and after all, he won the IC title and shit. You know, like, that would have been too soon still. Like, sure, he was a main eventer in WCW, but again, like, he transitioned to a mid-card with Goldust and all this shit, Booker T, Goldust stuff. But, like, again, that was good stuff. Don't get me wrong. But, like, again, it was perfect the way his run was. It just, unfortunately, let's be honest, the only thing that's sad about Booker T's career, he never became the actual WWE champion, which I would have loved to see. I would have loved him to be the first actual black WWE champion. You know, apparently, you know, The Rock doesn't count, and yeah, you know, the world titles. But again, at least, hey, you finally got your black world champion with Kofi Kingston, but look where that turned out. The guy was a jobber. And the guy was fucking just doing stupid shit, fucking a panking, flopping buffoon, and look what happened. He became world champion and became one of the lowest drawing champions in history. So that's all I'm done to say. Just a little bit of my thoughts and just to allude to that idea, especially in like, since, you know, WrestleMania did just happen after all. Just a little bit of my thoughts, and especially in the you know, idea of WrestleMania. So that's all I'm done to say. I'm just keeping real motherfuckers. You know, got to be nurses and shit, got to be labs and shit. I don't need to be black, man, to be entertained champion. You know, give me a title, I'll be fucking, like, 5'1", like this fucking soul in a wine glass. Oh shit, you know, I got a big black couch. I don't discriminate with the fucking blacks, man. I have a big black couch. I don't the fuck the bitches in the big black couch. Drinking so in the styles glass so magnificently. Cheers. That's what I'm done, guys, to say. Until next time. Peace. Yeah, bye.